the fourth video of the Image Chronicles video blog series. I'm Rachel Oliveira. So today is the first of our many artist profiles. So I'm so thrilled to have this amazing team, this amazing and talented team with a corporate image and a storybook image. And I just really wanted to let our viewers know a little bit about the artists. So here we are with Kate Eisemann, who I've been working with for, it's been over 6 years now. And we just have a few questions to chat with her about. So thank you so much for having us here, Kate. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And I just want you to tell me a little bit about how you became a professional photographer.
Sure. I became a professional photographer really in college. I was shooting before I went to college, took a year off, and I followed a ski show around. My dad had a photo finishing lab. I was used to cameras and film. And then he also had a part-time business in the ski business. So I kind of molded both of those, and I followed a ski show, the national, freestyle skiers around for a year. I took pictures, terrible pictures, but I really liked it. And so when I went to college, the editor of the newspaper asked me to shoot some portraits for an article, and I loved being published. I loved having a camera. I thought it was super cool. I still do. And I really found my love of portraiture there. And photojournalism. That's how I really started. And I became the photo editor of that paper, and then I started working as a professional shortly after that.
Oh, the rest is history. So, I know that you're very passionate about your job. So why do you love it so much?
Photography's it's very different now than it was when I first started. It draws on a lot of talents that it didn't originally. It's still about creativity, and it's still about working with your client and all that stuff. So it has so many facets to it, like planning the shoot and getting everything together for it, and then you're on the shoot and you're working with your client, or you're working at a wedding, or you're working whatever you're shooting, and there's the interaction that you have with the people that you're photographing, which is a really intimate exchange often. And then when you're done, now there's a whole other set of skills that now involve, the digital darkroom. So I'm always learning stuff in Photoshop to enhance what I've done, not to alter things, but just really to enhance them. And then there's a whole printing element, and then you're sort of back with your client, seeing how they feel about it and retouching. So it draws on a lot of different aspects of your talent and your brain, and I really like that.
So as a photographer myself, I know that sometimes people are very shy in front of the camera, and I know that you have a magic of making people feel really comfortable in front of the camera. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do to make people feel comfortable?
I can. I always tell them it should be fun. Maybe not to CEO, but I tell everybody else it should be fun, and I tell them that we're going to take a lot of pictures and not to worry. And that I'm going to talk them through the whole process. We usually have at least one change of wardrobe, men and women, maybe more, sometimes as many as 4 changes of wardrobe, depending on what somebody's after. If it's an actor, it's one kind of session. If it's someone who's dating, it's another kind of session. If it's a corporate picture, it's a different kind of session. But we always do a change. I said one of my little secrets is I always do my wardrobe that I like the least first, because that's when the person is probably the most nervous, and then there's a little break where I stop shooting and they go and they change, and maybe we put on a little transparent pattern on them, and I talk them through it, and we take a lot of pictures. And one of my tricks that I do is, now everyone will know, when we're all done, and I really do feel all done, and they usually get up, and then I go, wait, let me just come back to do one more series. Maybe it's without their glasses, or it's without their jacket, and those are usually the best pictures because they're pretty relaxed at that point, and there's a lot of trust that's been built up. So it's really an intimate exchange, and I honor that, as I know everyone wants to look great, and I want them to look great too.
So I know that you have quite a bit of experience shooting celebrities. Can you tell us a little bit about an exciting celebrity photo shoot?
Sure. It's always great when you are photographing someone you admire, and that was always one of my visions, that I photograph people I respect and admire. And I was fortunate enough to photograph Tim Gunn, the host. He's really a mentor on Project Runway. I've watched that show for the last 11 years. And I was photographing for a client where he was speaking, and they asked me during the dinner they were having for him before he spoke, could I take a portrait of him? And I was like, you bet I can. So I like ran to my car and got all my gear. I literally had like 5 minutes to set it up and light it. But I knew I wanted to be ready for him. And the best part of it was, if you know who he is, when he came up to me, surrounded by people, and he came up to me, and I said, I'm so happy to meet you. And in his Tim Gunn way, he said, I'm so happy to meet you. I love photographers. So he was really great. And, you know, it's so fun to work with professionals who are used to being in front of the camera because they know what they're doing. They're very comfortable. And, you know, when I asked him to, you know, can you do your Tim Gunn, the thing that he always does, he crosses his arm, and he was just great. And that's the,
it was just natural for him.
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
So we love having you with the Storybook Image and a corporate image. As I said, it's been 6 years now, which is you know, a long time, and we've done a lot of things together. So can you tell me a little bit about why you like working with us, with the Storybook Image and the corporate image?
You know, I am really grateful that we have this association and that it's lasted a good long time, which says a lot about a Storybook Image and a corporate image. I am so lucky to have representation for what I do. I don't have to do that part. You know, I'm so grateful to you and your team for putting my work out there and introducing me to new clients. There's all the pre-production is done by you guys, and that makes it so easy for me and for the client to just arrive and have a really good shoot and not be worrying about all the stuff that I would have to do if you weren't doing it. But also I appreciate the support. And I get to shoot with you and other photographers sometimes, and being a photographer is a rather isolating career, so it's really a joy to be part of a team, and we get to celebrate when things go well, and I have support if there's any issues, and I really feel so grateful to be involved with you.
And we love having you too. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you chatting with us and, you know, your time, especially inviting us to your beautiful studio here.
My pleasure.
And I hope that you enjoyed our first artist profile with Kate Eisemann. And have a great week, everyone. And thank you for watching.